call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. Amen.
The world changed by your example, not by your opinion. Remember this. Keep your opinions to yourself, honestly. It's only changed because of our examples that we set in the world. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you. Crystalline Body, Part 2. So, as I said, this was very important because all of us are going through different stages of this incredible journey. And I want to go over each of the categories tonight because I just have so much to say about the process as I've been going through it as well, and also helping others. The first thing I want to say is this: how you go through each step and stage and how you come out the other end, understanding what happened, the reason why it happened, where you're going with this, where it's taking you. Share it with others who are coming to you or talking about they don't understand what's going on. It would be so incredibly helpful to let them know they're not losing it. They're not failing. They're not going backwards. They're going forwards. Beautifully, holy journey. Very personal, but very necessary. Although we're all going through each of these 14 stages and more, because some of us have already done other things that added onto our list, each time we go to another stage, we are empowered more so that we can handle the next level of this. Okay? For some of us, we're having things happen simultaneously. And others, we're taking 2 at a time, or 3 at a time, because we're ready and we can do it. Okay? So the release of blocked energies. Every Wednesday we talk about this. Because if we don't release the block energies, the energies that are actually clogging up the flow of light coming through us, it slows down everything. The whole process gets slowed down. The longer it takes to do this, it's more painful because it seems like it's never going to end. But it does. Each stage ends. As you let go of the energies, remember, you do not have to analyze what's going on. Go with the feeling. The feeling is everything. Once you start thinking, you lose the feeling and you've lost the holy moment. So letting go of the blocks is number 1 on the list because it is the most important part of this. The others are effects of the light coming in. The more light you're able to absorb, the more that your body has to get rid of the lower vibrational energy that's still within your cellular structure, in your energy fields, and affecting you very, very strongly. You feel like you're in a void sometimes. like nothing's getting done, everything's the same, nothing ever changes. Believe me, when you do your morning prayer, make it a quickie, just turn yourself over into a surrender state. Surrender to the process of your healing. Your higher self will take over. Everything you need will happen during that day. Everything you need to experience will happen in that day. Every day, something new happens. You learn something new. You are aware of something new. You feel something new. Go with the feeling. For those of you that have trouble emotionally getting into this, get out of your head and stop thinking about it. Once you start to feel it, go with the feeling. Am I sad? Yes, I'm sad. I'm really, really sad. And just go with the feeling. If you need to put on some music that really touches your soul to get you where you need to go, do it. Sometimes watching a movie that just makes you so emotional, you could not cry if you wanted to. A lot of times we have a lot of anger. However, we don't let that come up so easy. But after we take care of the sadness, the anger can come up much easier. We all have a lot from other lifetimes that we brought into this lifetime that we're very angry about. The injustices in the world, very big one. Number 2, the back pain and the spine. I am suffering greatly with this one. If I stand up for any length of time, I'm in absolute abject agony. I understand it. I know that a lot is happening in the spine. It has to do with the spinal column, the DNA column. It has to do with the sacral. It has to do with the kundalini. It has to do with all of the electrical in your body. It follows the spine. Be kind to yourself. Just move around and try to do what you need to do. Take rests in between if you're having this terrible pain in your spine. And don't try to fight it. It's happening. It's very important that you pamper yourself a lot more than normal. Okay? Don't just think that you have to run to the doctor because, oh my God, something's wrong with my back. Nothing's wrong with it unless you have an injury. But sometimes we make that injury occur so that we can have changes happen. Open up doors within us, make things move. So even getting something happen that you say is physical can help you along this whole ascension process. A lot of people are feeling they're sick, and you're not sick. When you are cleansing, you appear sick. A lot of fluids are coming out. You're having all kinds of coughing, sneezing, depending on where you're relieving yourself. Okay. And, but if you feel concerned, get the diagnostics done and put your mind to rest, because 90% of what you're going to go there for, you're going to be told they can't find anything. It's because what's happening to us is all related to energy and light, and that isn't recorded on the diagnostic machines. The rashes and other physical signs. Anybody here have some rashes or getting like zits or getting any kind of body things happening? Yeah, I'm telling you, it is crazy. I looked at Charlie. He's covered with all kinds of stuff. looking like bruising and all this. He says, I don't know what's going on, but I told him, don't be afraid. It's okay. Everything is happening for a reason. The cleansing process is on many, many levels, and this is the way the body will show it. It's all going to go away. It will. Emotional upheavals. A lot of us are going through this, where for unbeknown reasons, we suddenly feel very angry, or we get very scared, or we feel troubled and we don't even know what we're troubled about. Just go with the feeling of it. If it scares you, cry it out. Get rid of it. If you're angry, get rid of that emotion. Get rid of the anger. You don't even have to know what it is. Just say, I'm so angry, I don't know what to do with it. I'm giving it to you, God. Take care of everything as it shows itself. It's another level of cleansing for you. You see? Like it said in the film, we've had hundreds of thousands of lifetimes. And we still have this cellular memory inside us and our fields. Our unconscious mind is loaded, and it's trying to let it all go. Go with it. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Changes in behavior. It is a big one. You start to do things very differently. You may have already noticed that you are. You're hesitating to do things that you used to love to do. You're going to find yourself wanting to be more quiet and alone. You're going to want to feel less pressure in your life, so you kind of spread things out a little more. And if you're not doing that, you're going to get so overwhelmed very quickly. You don't need that. You do not need to go through that. Be kind and gentle with yourself. Nobody else can do that for you. This is a time for us to be aware and do something about the conditions that we're finding. I'm finding that I really feel like being very, very quiet. I know it's hard to believe because I'm talking the whole time here, but I like to be very quiet and observe. I did this as a child. I wanted to be invisible. It was safer that way in my home. So I'm feeling that same feeling again, but not for the same reason. I'm observing because my extrasensory system is developing just like yours is. And I'm getting to read so much deeper into animals, peoples, plants, just every bit of life on the planet. You'll start tapping into the energy. You'll actually feel their feelings. It will bring tears to your eyes, and they're not even showing it on their face, but you can read their energy field. I don't like big crowds. I never really did, but I really don't like them now because there's so much mixed energy, it drains you dry. It really does. It drains you. Changes in who you're with. There's lots of toxic people in our life, and we put up with it because maybe we're lonely and they were the only ones around. But for whatever reasons, it could be family members, it could be anybody. If you're finding that you're in a toxic environment and it's too much for you, you can't bear it, please be kind to yourself. Step away, give yourself time to recalibrate, send lots of love and light to the people that were left behind, and move on. If you're not kind to yourself and honor your needs, who's going to do it for you? No one. They won't step away. They won't walk away. You have to be the one to choose who you want to be with. Use these people to help you to purge. If you can't stand a person, ask yourself what it is you can't stand about them, and then release it from yourself. Take responsibility for that feeling because it was inside us. Whether it's inside them or not is not our business. It's what we're feeling is the only thing we can go by. Increased connection with your higher self. If you would just take a few minutes during the day, or maybe a couple of times a day, to just sit and don't think about anything, just sit and breathe and talk to your higher self. The only way you're going to start trusting your higher self and become one with that part of you that is the real deal, that is who you really are. Right now, we're just a portion of that. But if we don't start trusting and talking to our higher self and seeking that relationship, stop seeking it outside you. Everything you want to know is inside you. In your divine mind connection, there's nothing you don't know. And from all the life experiences that you've had over the millennia, eons of time, all of that is still yours. You're the culmination of everything. But don't just look at the physical you. Look beyond that. Look into that beautiful sacred heart of yours. How you love. How you feel. That's you. That's the real you. And if anything troubles you, let it go. Let it go. It isn't part of you. It isn't the divine you. The divine you is in peace and harmony, a blessing to yourself and others. The joy, the laughter, all of this is you. You become love. You just don't love others and yourself. You literally become love. Unloved. Love is a space of peace that passes understanding, of understanding other people just by looking at them, even the harshest of the harsh that come into your life one day. These people are screaming because they are out of control in pain and fear. If you take it personal, it hurts. It isn't personal. If it brings you to tears, it's because it's an energy that's still inside some of the cells and it needs to be released. So it's almost like a trigger to let you release what's there. Other times you cry because you feel the pain and agony and suffering of a person. Many of you here already have that. I can sit with someone and the tears are pouring down my face. I feel their pain. I do. I don't take it in, but I feel it. And when I start crying, I help them to release it too. Extreme fatigue. Oh my God. I have not slept so much since I can't even remember. It's just the draining of our energy because it's being used for this translation of your cells. All the way to the bone structure, it's happening. The light, this new sun that is emanating this incredible level of light is lifting our frequency, which is lifting our physical bodies, which is lifting our fields. Now, I pronounce it Merkaba, which is surrounding us, is our little conveyor, our safety transport unit that we came in with. It surrounds us completely. Yeah. And everything about us is being lifted in frequency. And when you are working with solidified material like bones, our structure, why would our backs not hurt? Because it's being lifted in frequency. So this fatigue needs to be addressed. All of us need to take the time that we need to sleep, to rest, just to sit down sometimes, even if you're at work. Sit down with a glass of water, cup of coffee, whatever you guys do, and just chill. Give yourself a few moments to just chill. Ask for help to get through the things you have to do. And then make sure you get your night's sleep. Very, very important. You cannot chip your body and try to skip this, because I'm telling you, it will take its toll on you. It will force you to sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Experiencing night sweats or hot flashes. I guess I went through this a long time ago, so I'm not going through this stage. That's why I'm saying it isn't necessarily in this order for all of us. But there was a time when the heat was so unbearable that I couldn't stand it. I told the story 100 times about I had to actually put my feet in buckets of ice water because my feet were on fire, literally on fire. We'll all go through this differently. If you do have the night sweats, it really is the connection to your higher self. You don't know it, you don't see it, but you feel it. Remember, everything is about our feelings, our emotional state, and it's picking up everything, things you don't even realize. Just go with it. Make yourself comfortable as you can. I like a cold room and a big heavy down blanket. That's what I like. So that I sleep like that all the time. Plus, I can't breathe as well unless I have very cold air. My poor Charlie is the opposite. So he freezes himself for my sake, but I keep him nice and covered. So he's good. But I have to take care of myself, and he understands it because I've been through so much for so many years that he really gets it now. He knows that I'm not a drama queen, that I really do need to take care of myself because of all the changes that have happened. Vivid dreams. Now, he talked about scary ones. And yeah, those are nightmares. And I'm sure some of you are having them. I've had calls from some of the people that come to the forum that told me about some very scary dreams that they had. But most of the time, it's just confusion, just a lot of confusion. People you don't know, and you're in this house you don't recognize, and things are happening, and people are talking about things, or you're just there and nobody sees you, and the frustration of trying to be part of what you're seeing, or finding yourself in a very strange environment that you don't even recognize or know why you could be there. Just a crazy, crazy mixed up dream. It's your subconscious emptying out old information that no longer has anything to do with you. And it's been stored on a shelf somewhere in your consciousness. And right now, we need all the room that we can get to get as much light inside us as possible. So when you have a dream, just be grateful and just wash it clean from your mind. If it really shakes you up, go wash your face, take a drink of water, sit down for a few minutes, and then cuddle up and go back to sleep. Ask God and your angels to help you if you do feel a little afraid. But believe me, it's just an emptying process of your subconscious. We don't want to know what's in there, let me tell you. And anything we need from there will be given to us. So don't try to figure it out. Not necessary. It isn't like you're going to miss something and not get where you want to go. Okay? Yeah, I made a note. A lot of our past lives that we didn't finish up the energetic exchange is going to be playing out. It can play out in real time during the day, or it can play out from in your dreams, in your dream state, in your in-between dream state where you're thinking about it. Just go with it. Just keep giving it to God. Just keep pouring light into it. Just don't worry about it. Everything wants to leave that isn't pertinent for your ascension. You're making room in the closet. And think of it like you have your house and you get all this stuff and you just don't have room in your closets or your drawers or anything anymore. Well, your body's the same way energetically. And you'll start to, we're starting to really clean this out. What our goal is not only to continue to develop this crystalline body, but it's leading us to become a body of light. A body of light. Light cannot carry anything but itself. Light. So everything unlike light, the shadow, has to go. It has to go. And that's what we're doing right now. We don't have to wait until another lifetime. We're not even having to go through the bardo once we pass those 3 days that were put aside for the review. We're doing it now. This is the great gift of this lifetime. We're emptying it out now so that we don't have to die. We will translate. The dizziness. Now, we do have people here that are suffering terrible with the dizziness. I myself, I turned around one day and I almost fell. I just couldn't get my balance. Sometimes if I turn my head a certain way when I'm laying down, everything starts spinning. Other times I'm walking, but it seems like the ground's so uneven. And I'm finding that I have to walk like an old lady because I'm watching where I place my feet so I don't lose my balance. Charlie and I hang on to each other. Now I understand why old people all hang on each other, because they're trying to stay steady enough to walk a straight line. This is part of the ascension process. Be very careful. You do not want to fall. Be very careful. If you find it so severe that you need a cane, don't be embarrassed. Get it. Make it into your sword or your weapon. Play with it. Don't make it into something that you feel ashamed of. I have a beautiful purple one in my car. And if I need it because I have to walk any distance, and let me tell you, it's not that far either, I take that cane with me. Yeah. Do what you need to do to be safe and steady. Okay. Memory loss. Holy Christmas. You're talking to somebody that walks up to you. You know their name. You know their name. And you can't think of it. It just won't come to you. 2:00 in the morning, you remember. But it's so, listen, it's okay. You're not getting dementia. It's part of this reconnection. And let me tell you, sometimes I just have to laugh. I can't help it. I think that's what happened to that, what's her name? Kamala, Kamala. All she does is laugh all the time. I have a feeling she's losing her memory. So she just starts laughing because she doesn't know what to do with it. But listen, Just be easy on yourself. You're fine. You're fine. As you move up even an increment, everything changes energetically for you. Respect and honor it as a stepping stone. Look to it as this is good. This is good. I'm going to remember. I will remember. If you heard Charlie and I talking, I can't remember the things that he does, and he remembers what I don't. And we have to laugh. We just sit there and we laugh. We need two people to have one conversation now. All right, we are old, but still, it's part of this transformation. Be okay with it. Laugh about it. Start to get some humor. Don't get all, oh my God, I'm losing it. No, don't do that to yourself. Find the humor in the whole thing. Make it fun instead of a burden, okay? You're going to come through it. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I'm not letting you go anywhere anyway. Loss of identity. This comes when you retire and you've had a very, busy, important job, and you identify with that work. It happens when you move and you don't know anybody and you're starting from scratch. It happens throughout life, but especially now, you're going to start realizing that you're questioning, who am I? What do I believe in anymore? Everything in the world is dropping away from me. I want it to drop away. I encourage it to drop away. There's nothing anchoring me here. Nothing. Nothing. But where am I going? I'm going with all of you and all those ready to make this transformational journey. Life is incredible. Every stage of it. Where are we going? Further into the light. And everything that we love right now is magnified and becomes our life. Everything joyous, holy, beautiful, healthy. You never worry anymore about your health. It is what it is. If I'm supposed to be here or there, I'm fine. I accept it because I know one thing. You don't die. You live forever. And ever is a long time. I knew most of you for eons, bumping into each other here and there around the world. It's just hard to wrap your brain around. But you are forever. You have been forever, and you will be forever. We just keep changing our form and moving, thank God, from 3, 4D, finally, into 5, 6, 7, 8 even. Yes. Yes. And everything you want to do, you just do. Nobody tells you what to do. You don't have to stand for 16 hours a week grooming yourself because your body is completely different. You still are you, a much more beautiful you that you want to be. Think of everything that you've ever wanted to do or be. Well, there you are. You want to be someplace, you're there in a thought. Who needs a car anyway? You are self-transporters. Everything here is so slow, but it has to be because time is important, especially for what we have to do here to get to the next level. So the loss of identity, it really hurts sometimes. You're just starting. I mean, I'm not going through this. I'm not. Even when I left the legal field and all the different incredible jobs that I've had, I was okay with it because I was ready for it. I prepared myself for it and I moved on. And when I left my last job, we moved up here. And I was still doing what I was doing, long distance. And then I started traveling. I traveled for many, many years after that. From 1997 to 2005, I was hardly here where I live here. So that is how it happened for me. But other people don't have that happen. Believe me, when you leave your job, you just celebrate it from one end of your body to the next. Celebrate it and then find your greatest joy and live it. It wasn't your job that identifies who you are. You just got to be you where you were. And you got to be with people you needed to be with to get to the next step of you. Okay. So then there's the out-of-body phenomena. Do you ever feel like you're just not grounded in you? You ever feel like that? Like you're kind of zoning like I was describing earlier? Yeah. It's very healthy to let yourself do that. And when we do the guided meditations at the end of the form, the third segment, we practice being outside of the physical so that we can be in our etheric double body, which looks just like you, but it isn't the solidified you. Okay. So when you're falling asleep, you ever jolt? Like all of a sudden you just jolt? Yeah, because you lifted out and then you became aware of it. So it came right back in. And I've had a lot of bad landings, I'll tell you. One time I literally hit my body so hard, I ended up at the foot of a king size bed. Yeah. And I didn't know what happened. I just sat up and goes, what just happened? Yeah. Every once in a while, I see Charlie's body jolt. So he's going in and out as well. We're all doing it. It's just most of the time it's not conscious. We're doing it unconsciously. It's really fun and it's natural. You can't not come back because your silver strand is attaching you to the physical. Even when I went to the other side, all the way to the other side, I still was attached to my body or I couldn't have come back. So let me tell you, that strand is a long strand and it will not break until you're ready to go. Okay. And the 14th was the alienation, yearning to go home. I have felt that way since I was a kid. This is nothing new. How many people here have felt this for so long, they can hardly even say, yeah. Being here was torture. Torture. Even when there was good times, I always wanted to go home. Well, guess where home is? When you become your divine self. It's not a place. It isn't a place. It is the completion and culmination of your divine existence. Wow. Now there are places in the universe we called home for a long time. You can go there anytime you want to. At night, when your body's resting. When you're going to sleep, ask your higher self to take you. Whether you remember it or not, you will have the experience. And later on, when you can read your Akashic record, which is an open book for you, you'll get to see what you did when you were sleeping. Yeah. There is so much adventure, joy, and happiness, really happiness. You know that feeling like at Christmas when you were a kid and you got exactly what you wanted? That happiness that came over you, you were like ecstatic, right? Remember that feeling? Well, you'll be like that all the time because there's nothing not to be happy about, not to be in your greatest joy. Everything that you want will be aligned with what you need. Right now, our wants and our needs are not in alignment many, many times. And so your higher self says, no, 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 no. We got to take care of what you need. And then you'll get your wants. Because your wants will change along the path of you getting what you need, because then you'll be in alignment with the want. The want and the need will come together. You see, what we want now may not be for our highest good. And our higher self says, oh my God, we can't do that right now. So I spent most of my life wanting instead of needing, doing what I needed. So I changed my tune and I said to God, okay, give me what I need. And boy, did I get what I needed. I didn't know it was going to be that much of a harsh ride. It's like getting on a horse that wasn't broken and taking a ride. Yeah, but I held on and I fell, but I kept going. Your desires are important, but put it in alignment with your ascension. My greatest calling in my heart is to ascend fully into my divine self, not just occasionally, not just when I'm needed, but all the time. And then I can be in total service to the one, which is our prime creator. When you leave this plane, there isn't one being you're going to meet that isn't in total service to the prime creator. It's going to be very surprising to you. But in that service will be your greatest joy, because you'll be doing what you're the best at, that you love to do. And that's how God will use you, according to your strengths and talents and gifts. And guess who gave it to you? The prime creator. It's in your DNA. You see? We don't have to struggle with this. We just have to let it happen. But through our desire to be at that point is the most important part of this whole conversation. Without the desire to be at one with your divine self, you get sidetracked. All of the distractions in the world get a hold of you and just slow down the process. I, for one, do not want this to slow down. Anybody else here not want it to slow down? Yeah. Because this is not the fun time. This is not fun. I want it to be at its climax. And that's where we're going. Now, when we work together like this, we help each other, because the highest vibration on this call is the one that's going to lift everybody. And when you have 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 people at that level helping everybody else that's not, we all get where we need to go this evening. And it stays with you unless you get involved in the drama, and it'll pull you down. So that list, I think, is very important to reflect on, to be aware of, so that you don't get scared and think, oh my God, I'm losing everything. I'm falling apart. I have to sleep. Oh no, I can't do everything I normally do. Oh no. Charlie and I are learning to laugh. We laugh about everything now. Everything is becoming so funny to us. You know why? Because we surrendered. We surrendered. We're not going to fight this. All you got to know is one thing. You're not going to die. Your body, if we don't get to that point, and we don't lift it up with us, we're still going to have a body of light eventually. You just want to have to think about doing it now. This way we don't have to physically die like we've done how many times? Funerals are very depressing, you know. Very nice to not have to do that. And believe me, there is absolutely no pain to the transition. None. So let go of the fear of this whole thing. Okay? This is I know this is the biggest problem because the hospice house that I was involved in, this is what we had to do for every elder. Take away the fear. They didn't know where they're going. Let the fear go on everything, you know. Let it all go. Every time you feel afraid, say, no, I'm not giving in to that tonight or this morning or in the afternoon. No. And if something comes up in your head that you don't think is very pretty, you say, no, get out. I'm not doing that. You become the master of your house, because this is your house. Your body and your fields are your house. And nobody should be in there except you. And the components thereof, which would be your higher self, your soul. Yes. So you take your power back. Take it back. When something goes on physically, no matter what the doctor says, just sit with it and say, okay, let's see what we have to do with this. And if you feel okay, and if you feel strong, you have nothing to be afraid of. If you go for diagnostics and it shows there's a real problem, then you deal with it. But don't sit around worrying about it. Don't sit around and say, oh my God, because all it does is lower your frequency. And then you dim your light. And then fear takes over. We're way beyond that. We are way beyond that. Walk with dignity. Hold your head high. Love everything and everyone. It's so nuts. It's so nice. It's such a good feeling. Remember when you used to be angry all the time and everybody made you angry? How miserable was that? We walked around like a bunch of grouches. Well, those days are over, kids. All right, let me see if I talk. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, let's go on to the next segment. Thank you so much for listening. And anyone that's listening on YouTube, we invite you to come onto the forum, ourdivineorigin.com, and you can sign up. It's free. It's every Wednesday. Come when you want. Don't come when you don't want. But I think you're going to love it. God bless you. Free your soul. Let go. What she's saying. This is the battle of her shadow and her light. Let go of your past. It's through the emotions. It isn't remembering the past. It isn't reliving it. It's letting go of the emotion of it, and you're free forever. Thank you. So tonight's topic is Crystalline Body, Part 2. And there is no Part 3 to this particular topic. It's just doing it, just moving through it. We'll discuss periodically how you're doing, what type of symptoms you're going through. Definitely we'll discuss that in question and answer period. But the next topic that I want to take up in this particular matter is the body of light that will eventually be. But that's not going to be right away. I've got a lot of really good stuff coming up that I think you're going to enjoy. The power, taking back your power, and the types of gifts that we have, and all kinds of stuff like that we're going to be talking about. I want you to be very comfortable in your body. And if it hurts you, please do things to make yourself comfortable. I sit up sleeping. I breathe better. I feel more comfortable. I have 5 pillows that stabilize me so I don't fall on the floor. But it's my comfort position. And although it might not be comfortable for other people, it's very comfortable for me. And I do what I need to do. Okay? I want you to do what you need to do. Don't live your life through other people telling you what to do, how to fix yourself, or you shouldn't be doing that, or what are you talking about? You don't even have to share what you're going through. You just know what you're going through, and you can share it here during question and answer period. That would be just fine. But otherwise, everybody's opinions start spinning, and it could make you a little nervous about it all. They'll start making you think that something's dreadfully wrong with you, and that you better get to the doctor because this is very serious. Just be calm. Just breathe. Keep praying and thanking God in your prayer. See, I don't ask for things. I say to God, and I don't tell God what I want or need. I say to God, thank you for giving me. Thank you for providing for me. Thank you for hearing my prayer. See, I say it as if it's already done. And that is a prayer that will get answered. Stop asking and be grateful. The universe will respond to that and say, oh, okay, let's do it, and bring it to you. Will it happen exactly how you pray? Not necessarily, because again, if you truly surrender to your life and to your divine plan, you have nothing to ask for. All you have is something to be grateful for, because your life is moving in the direction it needs to go. Ask me that 30 years ago, I wouldn't be saying this. I really wouldn't. Now I understand it. Slow learner, I'm okay with that. But I learn. Please be at peace with the whole process. Allow yourself to move through this with grace and dignity. Know that God is with you because God lives inside you. There's no separation. I know my son will be very upset about that comment, but I'm telling you the truth. So you don't have to worry. God's with you and always looking out for you. But that doesn't mean things won't happen. Things happen in our life. Why does it happen? Because we wrote it in our script to have the experiences that we need. What do we need? We need to finish up. What haven't we finished from other lifetimes? We don't need to know that. just live your life and it'll show you. And whatever you stumble over, give it the proper reflection. See what it means to you. See how it moves you. And then go with the emotion. If we can just learn that when we need to think, we can think very nicely. But when we need to feel, we need to stay out of the thinker and stay into the feelings, because that's going to clear us so that this light, the light can transform us into this crystalline body, which can take on more light than ever before. And everything lightens up. You become a beautiful energy field that will blow people's minds just to be in your field. They'll feel happy like they were with Lorraine. That was proof for her that she brought a good attitude into this negative energy that was going on. And what happened? She brought up the energy, and the lady was actually able to feel it and enjoy it. Can we do this wherever we go? Yes. Let's make that our mission. And it makes you feel good to be the bringer of light, doesn't it? It really feels good. If you can help one person in a day, you did your job, really. And some of us, we have a lot of people that we work with, our families, our work, people in our life. If we can just live our life with the attitude, not only of gratitude, but also of giving the light and the love that's in that light that will help people to come out of this dense, harsh, fearful state that they're in, because the world is crumbling around them and they don't know what to do with it. They don't understand what's happening. It's kind of, in some ways, very touching to be able to say to somebody, look them right in the eye and say, you know what? You're okay. You are okay, and you're not alone. God loves you. Say the things you know they'll relate to. When I'm with somebody very religious, I speak their language. I can do it very easily. I'm a scholar of the Bible. I'm also a minister. But my ministering actually takes that religion and expands it into the spirituality, helps people to understand their perfect relationship with the divine. And if you say it with grace and goodness and honesty and love, they'll get it. They won't be afraid of what you're saying. There's a higher order of life that a lot of people don't know exists, but you do. You do. And you've lived it. And you brought it with you here. And why did you bring it? To share it, so that others will know too. Your journey's been long and amazing. And just be who you are. In this moment, you're everybody that you've ever been. All culminated right there in this beautiful heart and this incredible mind of yours. The gifts and talents that you bring with you. People admire you, whether you know it or not. They look at you in your strength, the things that you do well, and they say, wow, I want to do something like that. You encourage them. You inspire them. You show them what it could be like if I did that, if I did what I do good, and I bring it to others. Get excited about life again. Don't worry about the cleansing stuff. Believe me, it's going to happen. It's going to come up. That's when you take care of that. And then you go back to living your life. Find the things you love to do. Start to play some more. Hanging around kids or watching kids play, it does something to you. How free they are. All right, so they start to fight. So do we. But for the most part, they're really fun to watch. So if you have any kids around, yeah, look at her playing with their slinky toy. What do they call that? I used to have one. Go down the staircase. Yeah. If we can just start to play again. It's like Christine going to the ocean side and she's picking up these gorgeous little shells and looking at them to see the colors and the shapes. That's her greatest joy. I love it too, but I don't live near the ocean. I have a lake that's all smelly. It's just not because the water's bad, but it's not the ocean. You know, I like the smell of the ocean. So I stay away from the water here. But anyway, you do what brings you pleasure in your free time. Like John, he went out. He was at where were you, at a beach? Where were you that you were having so much fun?
Went to St. Simon's Island in Georgia.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. My family's looking for a place south. We have to go below South Carolina because it's not going to be warm enough in the winter. So if there's a resort down there near the ocean, would you write to me about it? Because we're planning this to get all together, not this Christmas, next Christmas, because my son books himself up too much in this year. So write to me about it. But please start to play, start to have fun doing what you love to do. Let's say it's your job and it's the thing you always wanted to do and you love what you're doing. So find the joy in it. Don't be so serious. You're hurting in some places. Yes. Yes. But if you enjoy your life by doing what you love to do, it will change things. You'll be able to deal with the things that are hurting. Remember, if you're hurting, don't wait till tomorrow to get rid of the pain. Do it. Do it now. Okay? It's very important to take care of things when it shows itself. If you don't, you prolong the peace that you could have. So with all my love, I say to you, let's have a great week, and I'll see you next Wednesday. And I'm really looking forward to it. We got a great topic coming. And just know that everything is okay. Okay, just realize that everything is okay, even though it looks like it's all crumbling, even very close to you. Everything is okay because it's happening for a reason. So reflect on your life, accept where you are, allow yourself to have the needs taken care of, which only you can do. Don't depend on anybody else to take care of you. You have to take care of you. Okay? And everything will go forward as planned, on time. Go to sleep in a grateful state and wake up the same way. God bless you all. You're a blessing in my life.
We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, future topic suggestions, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency ever higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. Amen.